What's up, Fit Body family? So, now to kind of extend on to the last video that I had made, I want to go a little more in depth on the types of foods you could eat, you want to eat, that kind of thing, your resting metabolic rate, tracking, time frame, all of that. So, for starters, when it comes to a fat weight loss diet plan, the reason why I put fat on there is because ultimately that's what you want to lose is fat, not necessarily weight. Because I'm sure you've seen it before. A lot of people have had this happen to them, and they lose a bunch of weight and they still don't necessarily look the way they want to. It's because a lot of times all they did was really cut their calories. They didn't focus on the proper macros that they were supposed to be hitting, and that really just sacrificed a lot of muscle for them and held on to a lot more fat than anything else. That's what we don't want to do, because that at the end is a whole bunch of work that ended up resulting in the physique you did not want. So to start out, calories. That is the energy source. It's a form of energy. It's what allows our body to move and go about our day like normal. Resting metabolic rate now. That is the starting point for any weight loss plan, any weight gain plan included. So when you find your resting metabolic rate, you have now found your set point to start calorically. This is kind of, in a way, the cheat sheet for you to be able to always look back to and see, all right, at this point in time, this is how many calories it takes for me to sustain my body weight. And that's no matter where you're at, no matter where you want to be weight-wise, no matter where you don't want to be. It all starts with the body weight you're at now and how much it takes to sustain that. Again, you cannot start any weight loss plan without finding that, because it's impossible to actually just go in and, okay, I'm going to start eating 1,500 calories and start there. If that's not your resting metabolic rate number, you're going to feel it and you're going to start having issues from there. You need to track it and follow it. What I recommend is 2 weeks, follow this caloric plan, stick with it. You will see your weight fluctuate. But if I give somebody who's 150 pounds a daily caloric value to hit, a lot of times if they were not following a plan, yeah, they may see some weight loss. Sometimes they may actually see some weight gain. But that's not a bad thing either, because eventually, if they're sticking to that same caloric plan, their weight's going to stabilize out. All right? This is what will allow you to go about a proper weight loss plan and not have any sort of crashes in the process. Now, on top of that, what types of calories? For instance, macros, protein, fats, and carbs. These are the 3 different macronutrients that you require on a daily basis in order for you to sustain your energy levels, sustain the muscle mass you want to keep, and lose the fat that you no longer want. What it comes down to with that is you can really have, as long as it contains the protein, fats, and carbs that you require, it can really be any food you want. Now, that has to be tracked, though. Because if you are not tracking any one of these, you can just kiss your progress goodbye. You cannot ballpark any weight loss plan like that. At any point, if you're just trying to eat less food, I don't know a single person that has been able to actually sustain that process and keep it in the long run. What usually ends up happening is they just revert back to where they were or worse, because they never tracked their resting metabolic rate, what it actually took for them to sustain that body weight, and then what types of macros they were actually getting in every day. So, the types of foods, that can come down to, to be honest though, the healthier foods, that's where you want to go with it. If you're going to McDonald's, if you're going to any fast food place, if you're getting your food from a box, it's probably not the right choice. Nor can you actually measure the calorie value of that food. Yeah, I know there's some websites out there that have, McDouble cheeseburger is this many calories, but that is going to destroy a good maybe like 60-70% of the calories in the day that you require already. That's why it's not a good idea to go to those places to begin with. You know, if you needed 150 grams of carbs in a day, and you wanted to get half of that in donuts. The only issue with that is you would probably far exceed the amount of calories you want to get in that from one, maybe half a donut, and the amount of fats to it as well would probably exceed the amount that you require in the day as well. So there's a ratio process to it that you require with these three macronutrients, and any one of our great trainers at the gym, including myself, could help you find those three macronutrients for you in the proper amount and help you go on that plan from there. So, healthier foods, protein-wise, chicken, beef, fish, any one of those sources are great. Healthy options. You can get really lean, 90%, 10% fat, ground beef, or you can get lean cut strips of it. You can do just, frozen chicken in a bag, and I'm not talking about the breaded chicken or the teriyaki glaze, but in the end as well, those actually aren't too terrible, but you really need to look at the amount of sugar from the sauce that is covered on those types of things and just really be aware of what you're consuming with all these flavored foods. Fish-wise, salmon, things of that nature are really healthy in omega-3s. Specifically, salmon is going to be a higher fat fish, so just be wary of that when you're looking at different protein sources. White fish is going to be one of the cleanest sources as far as low fat, and it's going to be basically all protein with it. Shrimp, shellfish is a really high source of protein. Those are good sources to consume from time to time. And now, carbs. Healthier carb sources, you can do oatmeal, cream of rice, cream of wheat, these sorts of carbs. They're a lot more, they're all right. And you can do fruits. Fruits are great. Don't be afraid of the sugar in fruits. Trust me, it is not something to be afraid of. Unless you have some sort of predisposition with insulin resistance like diabetics do, then you don't have to be worrying about the sugar from fruit sources. They are extremely healthy for you, as a matter of fact. There are so many vitamins and minerals that come in fruits themselves. Blueberries, berries in general have a great amount of antioxidants. Not only is that great for your hair, skin, and nails, it helps reduce cortisol like we talked about, and they're just delicious. So carb sources like that, brown, white rice, sweet potato, red potato, these are all great sources of carbohydrates. Really healthy, really good for you, have good amounts of fiber, and fiber is, you need fiber. Absolutely, you need fiber. Always have some good source of veggies with your meals. Fats, fat sources. Me personally, I typically don't cook with oils because that just adds more fat than what you will typically consume. You can though, coconut oil is a good source. Olive oil is a good source. You just want to be tracking that as well, the amount of oil that you use. You don't want to just be pouring the oil on your meals. If you're trying to track yourself and make sure that you're trying to reach an attainable weight loss goal, you're not going to be ballparking these numbers. Other sources of fat that you can consume that are really healthy: nuts, super good source of fats. They have so many good vitamins in them as well, vitamins and minerals, anti-cancerous properties. Mixed nuts are great. Avocados, of course. I don't know many people who don't like avocados. If you don't, you can go to the other sources, the coconut oil, mixed nuts, whatever you want to do with that. Those are typically the three sources of fats I find to be the best. Coconut oil, mixed nuts, or avocado. I mean, they're so healthy. You can vary it out however you like with those, and they're great. Sunflower seeds, things of that nature. Those are really good too. And sticking to these types of sources of foods throughout the day are really where you want to be with it. You'll find yourself feeling a whole lot better off of it. Now, to really go in depth though, tracking. Again, you cannot go with any sort of weight loss plan without properly tracking what you're doing on a daily basis. If you're not tracking it, it's going to be far and beyond possible to get to where you actually want to be. Even if you're not tracking your calories, but you're tracking the exact same amount of foods you're eating every day, this is where it actually becomes possible. But you still need to track in some form what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. Okay? You're going to be tracking everything with it. And it doesn't have to be so daunting as it sounds. You can still enjoy your meals and find what you want to eat and make it taste good. You know, that it just takes effort and being diligent to the process. And from there, time frame. I have 2 key points with this: specific and attainable. You need to know an exact time, of course, where you want to be. And it doesn't really need to be exact necessarily, but you want to know, you want to have a good frame of time so that it's a goal that you can shoot for. And now, attainable. That goes into the other part of that. You cannot have your time frame be, I want to lose this belly fat by next month. Doesn't work like that. Unless you know you have very little left. But on that, if you have maybe 30 pounds to lose, you're not going to lose that in a month. It's possible, but you're also going to seriously affect your health doing it that way. And that, again, is not the way to go. So, time frame wise, it needs to be specific. Say, giving yourself 3 months, for instance, to lose that body weight or lose that fat that you're looking for, to lose 15 pounds. That is attainable. That is logical and it is reasonable. That is really a best case scenario. 3 months to lose 15 pounds. That's honestly how a healthy weight loss plan should go. Sum up what we spoke about with it. We talked about the different types of carbs, fats, protein sources you can get, what would be good, how you want to find your resting metabolic rate. That would be your starting point for your weight loss plan. What types of foods and how you have to be able to track it in some form. You need to be consistent and precise with it so that you can get the goals that you are looking for with it. There is no ballparking. It's not going to happen if you're not measuring it in some way, okay? And then time frame. On top of that, specific and attainable. Something that is logical, not going to be 30 pounds in a month. Doesn't work like that. 20 pounds, 15 to 20, 25 pounds, that's pushing it in a 3-month time span. That is really the rate that you want to go with it. And from there, if you guys have any questions, again, you know where to find me. Your feedback with these videos is awesome. Please let me know any other questions you have or what you would like to see in the future with this. I'm always here to help. The goal here is to get you guys to where you want to be with it and just make it happen.